Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy, Kingdom Soldier, and I'm back again with another commentary. I wasn't going to do this. It's late at night. You can probably tell because you can see my shadow behind me. My picture that I normally put up on the wall is not up there. I got something else going on. That's the picture that actually sits on the wall. But I want to talk about this new FaZe rosters and the decision that they made. And I don't want to go too much into it because if you follow me on Twitter, then you know that I'm semi-bitter about it because of what I believe that it does for competitive Call of Duty. I will say that before I get into it, for those of you that don't know, that are not on Twitter, it was announced today that FaZe is going to have two pro teams, FaZe Red and FaZe Black. FaZe Black is basically Proofy's team. It just seems like from the outside looking in that Proofy was going to leave. It was rumored, it was in the rumor mill, the intel rumor mill, that Proofy was going to go to LV potentially, and he probably maybe was. And just like when Scump was going to leave Optic and there was that rumor that he got offered another team, maybe Proofy got offered another team and he decided to pick Formal as one of his teammates, and then Censor and Saints from Strictly Business. They left Strictly Business to join Proofy. So that is the new FaZe Black, aka, according to Sharp, the new online warriors squad. And then FaZe Red is everybody but Proofy and Theory. So one of TK's former players went to FaZe Black and the other one went to FaZe Red. So Theory's on FaZe Red with classic replays and JCap. And some of the weird things that have been going on Twitter, I think that some of those players Parasite was hoping to get on LV, but he couldn't make up his mind, is what it seems like from the community. And they joined two different FaZe teams. And I think that I said something on Twitter. I said I hope FaZe didn't just curse themselves, because setting themselves up for having to pay for two squads to fly around the country and go to these events to lose, that would be really unfortunate if FaZe just got worse and not better by pulling Proofy away from JCap and Classic and Replays. And so, and Replays tweeted earlier that he tweeted something at the SB owners at like Fraggy Toast. One of them, he said, it kind of sucks what happened to you guys. I hope you get a new team just like you got a new team. And I hope the same. And, to be honest with you guys, I made this whole rant that I was going to upload for you. But I didn't want to go that deep. But I will just say that the roster changes that happened starting on December 10th of 2013 that went on for about a month and a half, grew my channel, blah, blah, blah. But they also, during the time of roster changes, it really just looked bad. However, we just had one of the greatest tournaments that we've ever had in Call of Duty Championships. I mean, Optic showed up and Envy showed up and just crazy stuff happened. Everybody expected Complexity to win, but we didn't expect that the three teams left would be Complexity, the winningest team, and then Envy and Optic, the most popular team, the team with the most fans. That's not what was expected by anybody. We expected SB, FaZe, TK. We didn't expect Optic and Envy to be there with Complexity. And so this was one of the best tournaments we saw, and it was partly due to the roster changes. And I'm going to talk more about all of the roster changes that have happened on the sticks next week. But and I'm specifically going to look at Envy and how the roster that they just basically had to deal with won second place and $200,000 at COD Champs. So I think that this FaZe, what just happened, is just indicative of, and it just really speaks volumes to the fact that some changes need to be made. And, the worst thing any player wants to hear, any athlete, anybody that's a part of any organization wants to hear is we need more regulation, we need more oversight. But that's what I'm going to say, and if you watch Crim6's video, his recap of COD Champs, one of the things he said in there that I really paid attention to is he was like, when it was 41 seconds left and TP had just capped on Blitz, they knew they won COD Champs at that point. They knew they were about to 3-0 Envy and they won COD Champs, but they didn't get up and celebrate and shout. They didn't take their headsets off. And Crim6 said because the refs at COD Champs didn't play. Like, they were serious. And here's the deal. if there's more regulation, if there's more oversight by MLG or whoever, whoever it is, whatever governing body there is for competitive COD, if we bring in more regulation, yes, it will help grow because it puts boundaries on what can happen community-wise and trade-wise and all that kind of stuff. But, Proofy or Parasite or Formal or, Theory or anybody who's not happy with their team, they're not going to quit playing competitive Call of Duty because there's more rules that they have to work within, because you can't leave a team, because maybe owner to owner is the only way that trades are made. Maybe we actually take these roster changes out of the hands of players. One of the worst things that happened in the National Basketball Association in many years was when LeBron James decided to do this big announcement, this big decision, and basically an entire city, and I don't know how many people are there, but I know that my friend Judgment Awaits is from Ohio, and anytime I talk about LeBron, he hates it. I know he wants to dislike my videos when I talk about LeBron. An entire state was mad. Millions of people were frustrated because they didn't know. They thought that LeBron was going to stay with them, and he decided to broadcast to the world all at once that he was leaving and going to Miami. And he regretted it. He did. He really regretted it. But we make team announcements and roster change announcements to organizations that don't know about them, and on Twitter. And on Twitter is how we make team announcements. I just think some stuff needs to change. What do I think about the rosters themselves? I think that FaZe Black is going to be good online. I have one word, I guess. Complexity. I still see Complexity winning. I don't think either one of these teams is going to beat them. I don't know if Theory actually, if this was his dream roster. I don't know if, I'll say this, I don't know if he left TK to be on this FaZe Red roster. And I'm not saying it's a bad roster, because FaZe was a good squad. I think that the Proofy of old, that I gotta win, is what we just saw. And I think that's the case. And that's just my opinion. I'm sticking to it. This is your boy Kingdom Soldier. You guys go crazy in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.